Hey everyone, welcome to The War Report, the only podcast that takes its pizza out of the oven with the Infinity Gauntlet. I'm your host, Michael Gunner.
Adam Tatum.
Miles Smith.
Jason Mathis.
And Kyle Bonifacius.
This podcast is brought to you by the Battlegrounds Games and Movies, the Tri-State region's #1 source for retro gaming and Magic the Gathering. You can give us a call anytime at 706-259-9704 or reach us online at www.thebattlegroundsgames.com. So thanks everyone for joining us on our third episode. This week we've got a lot of new stuff to talk about. We're going to be doing a little bit more of a discussion roundtable instead of kind of plugging products with you guys. If that is something that you're interested in hearing, you can check us out on YouTube. We're going to have a lot of product videos uploaded, so just check us out there. Let's go ahead and start first talking about our Dragon's Maze pre-release that we got coming up. That is going to be on April 27th, 2013 at 12 a.m. Before we get started with that, we're going to have our Friday Night Magic at 6:30, and that is at the Holiday Inn behind Chili's in Dalton. So we look forward to having all you guys out there. We're going to run a little promotion for this event. It is going to be our Refer a Friend program. And if you bring out a friend that has not played at an event at the Battlegrounds Games and Movies, then you get $5 off your entry fee. So of course, the entry fee into the pre-release is $25. So this will get you in there $5 cheaper. So what's been going on at the store? What we got going on here lately since the last time we talked?
Hey, didn't we mention card sorting last time?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think we might
I
have.
think that's still going on.
Yeah, we're still doing it.
So, Kyle, a little high five for us because we have dropped boxes so far, and that is the best feeling in the world, really.
Yeah, not really. Especially when you got them all
sorted boxes.
Sorted alphabetized
sorted
boxes.
already, but yeah.
We pushed through it though.
It's almost done.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Very close.
Thanks to the help of some of our regular customers, of
Yeah,
course.
for sure.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to Dragon's Maze spoilers. You know, we've got like about 75 cards right now.
Well,
This shape, well, that's kind of my guns, but this set's kind of shaping up weird right now. Nothing that I'm just crazy about. So,
what?
Yeah, nothing that I see just flying off the shelves right now.
Me either. I agree. Nothing is really catching my eye.
Y'all are dumb.
I agree.
Throw it out there.
I think it's
There
it's
is a lot of
starting out pretty nice.
fun cards in this set that I've seen so far. With my favorite being Ralph Zurich. Planeswalker, I mean, you get to take extra turns.
Well,
Of course, it's random,
ideally you could take extra turns.
but
So
you can take extra turns.
You know you in
Potentially
particular,
up to 5.
the first time you flip 5 coins, it'll be all tails. You know this.
Maybe. But I mean, his other abilities are good too. I mean, he has a freeze ability for his +1, which is not bad at all. And his -2 is, he deals 3 damage to target player or creature. So
Yeah.
He's like a mediocre Tameo.
2 lightning bolts is pretty nice.
he starts with full loyalty when he comes into play. So for 4 mana, he is a good planeswalker in my opinion.
Yeah, he's kind of the staple of the set right now, more or less. Obviously, being on the box, being a...
Yeah, I still think he's gonna round out to be like a $15 planeswalker, if that, maybe $10.
At least he's not Tibble.
Let's hope there's another planeswalker there.
I don't know, small sets these days don't usually get that. I mean, I'm all for it, absolutely. Let's have like 5 planeswalkers. Let's do it.
Well, they revealed a John one, and this is a what is he? Is it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, they got the other 3 guilds, I guess.
Ravnik is a big place. We'll be back there. Don't worry about that. There's always gonna be time for more planeswalkers.
Yeah, pretty interesting thing about the set I've noticed is a lot of the dual color cards. I mean, it's very heavy dual color instead of just having your mono commons and uncommons. Everything's kind of pushed towards the dual now, forcing people to kind of play multiple colors, which is great. I mean, it just adds more combos.
Yeah, it's like shards. That whole Alara block. That was mostly dual stuff, and that was fun. I had a great time in the Alara block. Hopefully, this will turn out to be kind of somewhat like that.
Well, I guess if we're going to talk about our favorite cards, I'll go first. So far, I'm going to go with my favorite card being...
You're going second, by the way.
Let's go
For those of us doing math,
I already went first.
I'll go first after Tatum.
Okay, thank you very much.
Voice of Resurgence. This is a 2/2 for a green and a white. whenever an opponent casts a spell during your turn, or whenever Voice of Resurgence dies, put a green and white elemental creature token onto the battlefield with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, it's a bear starting off with 2 abilities. I don't think you can argue about that. 2 good abilities at that.
I think this card is obviously, this is Wizards' future league, which you don't know what it is. It's they have in-house a group of people that play, 3-4 sets in advance. And this is very clearly them being like, oh god, flash decks are a thing. We have to round this meta out somehow, which I guess is fine, but that kind of push card is always kind of scary to look at.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is one of those cards that's just going to see play in everything, but it's certainly interesting to read. A lot of cards when they first come out, they all seem good and have good intentions, but they never really make it into play. I mean, I don't know if you might think of an example of a card that was like that, but
like something like Grafdigger's Cage, where it's very clearly meant to push the meta, but because it exists, it shifts the meta away from that, so it itself becomes less good over time.
Yeah. What you got, Kyle? What's the card of choice so far?
My card of choice, Lavinia of the 10th. Ooh. She's the Azurius champ, because I play USA Flash, bro. Yeah, that's mine. My take on it. Lavinia of the 10th is super nice, especially with cards like Restoration Angel that are still going to be around in Standard. Deputy Acquittals that's going to be coming in with Dracomage just give you the ability to flash so much and detain all those creatures, which her abilities are protection from red, and whenever she enters the battlefield, detain each non-land permanent your opponent's controls with converted mana cost 4 or less. So she kind of slows the meta down, being so aggressive now with decks like Naya Blitz, and even Reanimators getting a little bit faster, but she kind of puts the hold on the whole aggressive side, which I kind of dig. I'm the control player.
I'm always down for slower formats.
Yeah, it's playing Magic. No offense.
Speaking of slower formats, Render Silent. That's gonna be a pretty good counter spell. I mean, you counter. It's a counter spell with a silence basically added onto it.
What about the other counter spell that they
USA Flash, bro?
I still think I like Dissipate better, but that's just my opinion.
Well, yeah, they got the counter spell.
I mean, if you're gonna pay a 3 mana casting cost counter spell, why you would?
It's a hard counter with a silence built in.
They revealed a 4 mana cost one today. Did you
for all
see
those
that
people playing ad nauseum in Standard.
What does the 4 mana cost one do?
I believe it's very similar to another card. When you say counter the 4 mana cost, the green blue counter spell.
Mm-hmm.
What would you compare it to if you had to?
What would I compare it to?
I know.
I mean, are we talking about mana drain here?
We're talking about mana
drain.
Yes, absolutely.
The infinitely superior counter spell.
Well, sure, but I don't know if you've noticed, but the game's changed a little bit since what's the mana drain was? Legends, yes. So it's been a little different these days.
Well, I think capturing mana and passing it over into your next turn now just doesn't have that the game's so much slower. Like now going into an next turn, if you're gonna will it into a Grizzlebrand, that's fine. But I really don't think countering something and getting 3 mana your next turn in addition to what you already have is really that powerful.
It's still
and especially in a deck that's going to be running counter spells.
It's still pretty cool to see the older cards kind of.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's pretty sweet. Mana Drain 2013.
Jason, where you at, man?
Well, you know what else is still pretty nice is that we know unburial rights type effects are still going to be in play after they rotate out in October with Obsidat's aid. So hopefully you'll still get to reanimate a bunch of awesome killer huge creatures and creatures and omniscience. I didn't forget.
You're thinking too small, man.
Yeah, omniscience.
Omniscience.
Yeah, man.
You should never call it that, by the way. That's not what the card is called. And if you call it that, you're a big dumb.
I totally agree. I'm totally down with Obsidat's aid. I think the ability of faithless loading and just returning anything is. I mean, you can return Nicol Bolas if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty dumb. That just opens possibilities for just really creativity.
Of course, the problem with it being that, once it's in the graveyard, there's no interaction with it outside of Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
That's like 7 mana, and it's...
Sure.
But returning a permanent to the battlefield for 5 is pretty good, I hear.
So who have we left out? Who
I
hasn't?
think it's me.
Okay.
I'm not
What do you got?
mistaken.
Yes, Lyle.
We didn't leave you out, so to
Okay.
speak about.
We know Lyle's favorite card in this format is Goblin Test Pilot.
Okay. Just a heads up to everybody listening. Probably that one they revealed today, that Progenitor Mimic, is pretty ridiculous and definitely going to see standard constructed play. You know, I mean, it is 6 mana, but it's a clone that on your upkeep you get another one. You get a token copy. If it's it doesn't infinitely copy, but and the ability to be like 6 mana, get a restoration, or not restoration. The ability to be 6 mana, get a Angel of Serenity, and then again on my upkeep, and then again on my upkeep, and again on my upkeep. It's
Or if you want to get real fun, Master Biomancer, Master Biomancer, Master Biomancer.
I guess that could be good.
It does share the same color. Yeah, why not?
That's probably a deck. You'll see me playing that deck at the IQ. Don't worry about
Oh,
that.
jeez.
Alright, well, good deal. So like we said, our Dragon's Maze pre-release that we want to see a huge turnout for. That's going to be, we're going to get things started on Friday, the 26th, at the Holiday Inn behind Chili's in Dalton, Georgia, there on College Drive. We're going to get F&M started around 6:30. That'll be a tournament in which, depending on how many people show, it's going to be $5 to get in. Winners, if we have 20 people, you're going to be looking at, 2 people will win free entry into the pre-release and so on. So 40 people, top 4 will get free entries. And then, we'll kick off the pre-release at midnight. That's $25 to get in. And of course, like I said, we're going to do that refer a friend promotion. So bring a buddy that hasn't played at our store before. We really appreciate that. So that'll score you $5 off your entry.
And there's good cards you want to play early.
Absolutely, and of course, we're ordering free Dominoes for everybody, so there will be food available. So be prepared to play a long night of Magic. We've got events from EDH tournaments to sealed event deck tournaments, win-a boxes. I mean, there's going to be something for you to do if you scrub out of the main event. There is plenty to do.
I thought you were gonna scrub out of the main event. We believe in you.
I'm gonna scrub out probably.
Kyle's gonna scrub out.
As long as I don't have to go against another pit fight.
Rock and roll.
Pit fight.
So let's go ahead and move on. Something that is catching on like wildfire, and I'm just as guilty as the next guy, is the format EDH at our store has arrived.
You're welcome, Dalton.
This is a format that I used to think, man, I'll never play that, and I don't know. It's actually pretty interesting and fun. You get, the concept of the format is you get to build a 99 card deck plus your commander, with only one of each card that shares a color with the color of your commander. So, for those of y'all that don't know, I think this format's pretty fun. Unless you're playing against Adam Tatum, then it could be miserable. But
it's guaranteed to be miserable. I don't know where this man got the idea for Landis Rush in EDH, but he is the worst person.
And it is a lot of fun.
For you.
Exactly.
It's one-sided
I
fun.
have fun playing my deck. And I have fun when you throw cards at me without illegal lands. It's pretty funny. Everyone laughs, and everyone gets a chuckle out of it, except for you. I get a chuckle, and the people watching get a chuckle.
We hate
I think this is
destruction.
I think this is kind of like it's fun for the guy driving the car running over the squirrels, but not fun for the squirrels.
Well,
Just to clarify, I am the squirrel in the situation. Right?
why was a squirrel on the road? That's the better question.
Because they don't know any better. Elder Dragon Highlander. Cool format.
Commander.
So who is your commander? We've got 5 people here that all have EDH decks.
What losers.
And, we're just going to go around the table here and we're going to talk about who is your commander, why do you like it, why did you choose that, and, we'll just go from there. Tatum.
Tatum, unfortunately, cannot pronounce his general's name, and I think that's a good sign. You shouldn't be running that commander in the first place. So, for those of you,
Apparently, Lyle cannot pronounce my commander either.
Aiden Oakenshield. Everyone.
Shield.
What's he do?
He's a Jund commander,
Okay.
which is for you that don't know what Jund is green, red, and black. He's a 1/2 creature. He taps for the Jund colors and returns a creature from your graveyard to your hand.
How does that play into your deck strategy?
It plays very well into my deck strategy due to a lot of creatures in my deck. When they come to play, they have land destruction abilities, or when they leave play, they have land destruction abilities, along with the other creatures I have in my deck, which is not a lot of creatures. There's only about 15 to 20 creatures in the deck total, and then everything else is pretty much land destruction spells or lands.
Cheater.
No.
Cheater.
It just it makes for fun times.
Cheater.
Just destroy their lands and then cast big fatties like Inferno Titan or Grave Titan.
That's not fun.
Alright, so Lyle,
Lyle, you ask.
commander
Lyle,
of choice.
right now, I think I'm playing Gave more than anything. Gave Grove Spores. He's actually out of one of the Commander precons originally. 2 black, green, white to cast. He's a fungus shaman, the best kind of shaman. Enters in the battlefield with 5+1/+1 counters on him. I can pay 1, remove a counter from him. From any creature I control to put a 1/1 sapling into play. And I can sacrifice a creature to put a 1/1 counter on another creature. Now, for those of you who know what the card Doubling Season does, it's a card out of the original Ravnica, which is a 5-mana enchantment that says, thank you, Jason, that says, good input. That says, whenever a token comes into play, you get double that many tokens. Whenever a counter comes into play, you get double many counters. So, it's really just, I make a bunch of guys, and then you lose, is basically the gist of the deck. And I enjoy it when I'm not playing against land destruction.
I'm gonna say, can you get to 5 lands against me?
I can't.
Okay. Jason.
I did get to 5 lands against you. Thank you very much. I think,
You did, and then I Death Cloud.
but still,
So what's your commander?
my commander is Rafik, and
Of the many?
and
Losses.
no,
Losses.
the many wins.
Rafik of the many sads.
No, Rafik is awesome. If you love Double Strike and you love Exalted, then that's your guy, man. I've liked Rafik ever since he was out in Alara playing that Mythic deck. That was my deck of choice back then. I just like him now because the other day I did 64 damage in one swing with a Berserk and a couple of equipments on him. I don't know, he's insane. He can get in there for a lot of damage real quick.
Alright, what you got, Kyle?
Niv Mizzet. I'm that
Oh my
EDH
God.
player.
Niv Mizzet.
Niv Mizzet. The Fire Mine, that is, not the other one that was just printed.
Not the bad Niv.
Not the bad
And what does he do?
He flies. He's a 4/4 for 2 blue and 2 red. Whenever you draw a card, Niv Mizzet, the Fire Mine, deals 1 damage to target creature or player, and he can tap and draw a card. But the fun part about Niv Mizzet is placing Curiosity on him, which just allows me to draw cards when you take damage. So it's kind of
You draw a
Yes.
card, you take a damage. You draw a card, you take
Infinite
a damage. You draw a card,
loops
you take
of
a damage,
death.
and your opponent is dead.
yeah, and they're cursing me or throwing cards at me or something.
But can you win a multiplayer game like that?
I can always win multiplayer.
I don't
game
think
like
you
that.
can. Because I think you'll deck yourself
There-
before you know.
There are plenty of ways to shove your library back in, especially if you
Psychic
can draw
Spiral.
your library. Oh, not even. There's so you don't even know.
That's
yet.
one.
You'll see.
That's one.
You'll see.
You'll see.
That's how I've always kind of wondered how that ad nauseum Tendrils deck beats multiplayer games. But apparently there's something to shuffle stuff back in so you can just keep on Tendrilsing people.
Alright, so my EDH commander is Azami, Lady of Scrolls. She is 3 blue and 2, 0/2. Tap an untapped wizard you control, draw a card.
Wizard.
So yeah, I play the wizard decks. And I get to run fun cards.
Mono blue.
Like a
Mono blue.
lab maniac.
I do get to run Lab Maniac, where that is my win condition often.
Beautiful.
You know, essentially getting cards out, like extra planar lens that doubles what my mana tap for, and playing cards like Palancron, where if I'm doubling my mana, I cast it. I'm essentially when it comes into play, I untap all my lands, so I just get infinite mana that way. It's pretty cool. Tapping out tons of wizards, drawing lots of cards,
Lots of
Combo
counter
people.
spells, yes.
lots of counter spells. You know.
So you're just like Tatum. Nobody wants to play against you.
No. And the thing is because a deck like Land Destruction doesn't allow you to cast what you have because you don't have the resources to cast it. Where counter spells, I have to decide what my counter spells do. Now, of course, if I get you like counter locked with a card that, wizard that says, tap to counter spell, yeah, okay, that's, those exist.
The difference being that Cavern of Souls exists, things like Boseiju, which is the same thing as Cavern for those of you who don't know, except for instants or sorceries. Though they exist, there are plenty of ways around just counter spells. But LD, on the other hand,
It's a lot of fun.
LD.
Ow.
So, this kind of transitions into our next topic, which is going to be a fun little discussion. EDH, serious or casual? This is a big question up for debate as this format is getting more and more popular, not only on a local level, but on a international level. EDH is really getting popular, and this was a format that was created to be a casual format by a guy that, just kind of created it up, in his basement.
Sheldon Menery is not just a man, sir. He's basically an elder dragon himself. So you will not speak of him with such low reverence.
An elder dragon.
So,
that's awesome.
Me personally, I think with any format that gets popular, it is going to become serious because it's hard to keep a casual atmosphere when people want to win.
I mean, Magic players, that's what they do. I mean, it starts off in the basement and it progresses to the tournament floor, at which point it becomes the domain of the Magic player. And the Magic player wants to win.
Yep.
But I think, just my opinion, I feel like we have to remember that it is a casual format, and you're sitting down just to play. Like, you're not looking to win on turn one and then scoop up your cards and go home. I wouldn't imagine. Otherwise, why wouldn't you just stay home?
It's always going to be casual until Wizards says it's not. Until they start sanctioning those tournaments, it'll be casual till it's dead.
Well, you have EDH tournaments occurring at Star City events. I don't think anybody's signing up in those to give their money away.
Oh no.
They're playing in those to win on turn 1, 2, 3, whatever they can.
Absolutely.
Okay, the kitchen tabletop EDH is casual, yes, but is it casual in the at the store? I don't think it can be. You can say it is, but no one wants to lose. Now, people might play like, hey, let's go have a pickup game of baseball, and it's all fun and game until your team loses, and then that just sucks. So I like to think in the same way as, yeah, EDH is fun until you lose, and then you're like, well, damn it, I want to win.
Or until you play Adam Tatum.
Wait a minute. I think it's fun. It's very casual. It just rolls up all your lands.
And you buy cards to tweak your deck to make it better,
Well,
and you eventually start winning.
That's what happens. That's why it works this way, is because everybody starts out casual. Let's say that. Let's say the four of us sit down. There are five of us. I can't do counts. The five of us sit down, start playing casual EDH. Well, eventually, Hermit Druid becomes too strong, and we have to. Kyle adds cards to counter Hermit Druid. Then Kyle's cards become too strong, and Tatum adds cards for that. And then Gunnar, and then Mathis. Mathis last, of course, because he didn't catch on right away.
But he was ahead before you even knew it.
It was just so far out there, you just couldn't imagine. But the format evolves as its players do, and yes, it's gonna get more competitive. But I would advise people that just remember you're playing for fun. Remember that at the end of the day, it's just a game. You don't have to turn 3 combos somebody to be having fun.
Now,
Cordell.
I agree with that. I think that
We'll have to beep that name, of course, because he'll come after us.
I agree that you should play with a commander that you think would be fun. I don't think you should just Google best EDH deck and say that's what I'm gonna. Find that card, that legendary creature that you just think is fun to play. Maybe he doubles every spell you cast a turn, or maybe he gives your creatures double strike, or lets you return cards from a graveyard. Choose that card because you want to do those abilities, not because you feel you need to in order to win the game.
And you never want to play Goblin Test Pile in EDH.
No. Or
Yeah.
Adam Tatum.
Well, you can play golf and test pilot.
You
the,
don't-
The day of the pre-release.
Actually, no, that's a good. Just for anybody interested in playing in our EDH tournaments at the pre-release, those cards are legal the day of the pre-release, so you can play with them right then in your deck. Start
Sweet.
testing; it'll be great.
You know, those EDH tournaments will be 4-man pods, or are they going to be 8-man? What exactly?
You know, 4-man pods. I think is. Well, let's discuss this actually real quick because that's another thing that's kind of lingering question in the EDH community versus pods versus 1v1, and it comes right back to the competitive thing. If you're playing competitive EDH deck, you want to play 1v1.
I like 1v1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I definitely like 1v1.
No.
Yeah, because
destruction deck
absolutely.
1v1.
The strength of your deck goes down the more people that join the game.
Exactly. Oh, so with something like yours, I mean, you have counter spells. So I mean, like, the more people in the game, the less stuff you're able to do.
Well, my counter spells aren't. You got to remember, my counter spells are not there to stop what you're doing. Maybe in your case, yes, because you would be hitting my land. But my counter spells are there to protect what I'm trying to do to you.
Essentially, yeah.
I don't really care that you're casting a 3/3 or a 5/5.
I kind of care.
As long as I'm still going to win and be able, maybe I need that counter spell because you run counter spells. That would be what those are in there for, or something like
I don't care
Thought
about your
seeds.
3/3.
All right, so for those of y'all that know, the Battlegrounds goes to quite a few shows and tries to collect cards and do a lot of wheeling and dealing for you guys, so we can bring you back the best possible packed showcases full of
Loots.
And we
best
play.
possible loots for sure. That's a good terminology.
And we play.
And some of us play, yeah, but some of us are out there on the floor doing trades, trying to pick stuff up for you guys. So our showcases can be stocked. So we just got back from the Star City Games Invitational
And open.
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta, Georgia. It was a good time. I think we were pretty successful. We really worked on that legacy showcase. That's the one that has needed the most hope. Hope. The most help.
Help me hope.
And
How do you think that went, Jay?
I had fun. I think I traded for 15 to 16 hours the first day, so I mean it's fun. You get to meet a lot of people, a lot of new people, and
Oh, what do we pick up?
a lot of legacy stuff.
We picked up dual lands and
Swords.
tons of swords and just good artifacts for the showcase.
Eurekas.
Eurekas, yeah, we hit got a deal on those.
About
but,
those Eurekas.
But we won't discuss that. Yeah,
I said we were Eureka at that one.
Yeah, that was
we
a-
Eureka that.
Eureka, if you will. So yeah, let's talk about our favorite card of all time. I really hate to kind of keep bringing up these cliche topics, like, oh, let's talk about our. But, we're getting started with this thing right here at the beginning. So, favorite card of all time is one of those discussions that everybody's probably had at least once, and I think it's a no-brainer. But everybody's different. Jason, favorite card of all time?
I'm gonna go with
And what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Rafiq. I mean, I know I already said Rafiq earlier when we were talking about EDH, but Rafiq he's just a badass, man. I mean, double strike and exalted is just ridiculous. If you can throw in a finest hour, you're hitting a home run every time, man.
Rafiq, you say? Man, that's weak. What do you got? What's up, Lyle?
You gonna rhyme mine too? Because that'll be
I'm
pretty
not.
sweet. I don't know if you know, there are actually a lot of cards in Magic. I don't know if you've.
I know, and this is
See
what is
that.
your favorite one?
Yeah.
Favorite one.
Pick one.
Pick one.
First thing that came to mind. Ready, go.
Doubling season.
Oh.
It's. Hey, we're gonna let's all reiterate the same cards we was talking about before. But
Wow.
I
Point.
promise you guys, I will not do it.
Adam Tatum is going to say Stone Rain
No.
and be done with it. But no, doubling season is just it does so much. Especially when it came out and Ravnica Planeswalkers weren't a thing yet.
Yeah.
And now that they are, that Planeswalker comes to play with double loyalty counters. You can ult that Lily Vest the turn it comes out. You can ult that. Can you ult Karn the turn it comes out?
He comes in with 4, I think.
No, he comes with like 8, doesn't he?
Oh wait.
He's big.
I don't
7.
remember.
7.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean you can ult that. You can. I mean it's just The ability to Ultimate Planeswalkers the turn you play them is ridiculous in whatever format you want to play, even though it's good for nothing but EDH. And I do that. But, whatever.
Tatum?
Kyle, go ahead.
Deranged Hermit. Make my squirrel tokens.
Hell yeah, man.
Make them bigger.
Yeah, they're awesome. He's a pretty cool card. Like, that's one of the first cards that I started playing. Whenever I first started playing Magic, it was like mono green elves and deranged hermits and making squirrel tokens.
Well, I'll go ahead and mention, now let's actually talk about really strong cards, since we're talking about best cards of all time, or favorite cards of all
Favorite,
time.
not best.
Some of favorite.
Favorite. You know, it's
The Power 9 was really good.
No, it's always it's always gonna be Time Walk. It'll never not be Time Walk. I mean, that card, the art on it's beautiful. What it does is beautiful. It's a good card, and it is my favorite.
I'm gonna go back to the basics of Magic here and just say
Mountain.
Not Mountain. Yeah, Mountain.
Favorite card.
Because
of Magic.
without Mountain, you couldn't cast the card I'm about to say. Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt.
Boring.
It is it's classic. I mean,
It's classic, but
yeah, 3 damage for 1, and my phone is blowing up.
All right, good deal. So yeah, you know, we are a video game store as well. So
are we?
We do
Right,
want
we
to
do.
plug a couple games real quick. You know, there's one coming out that really interests, I think, everybody that reads comics or likes comic book movies or anything, and that is Injustice. Among the Gods.
Gods Among Us.
Gods Among Us. So I mean, that's a pretty cool name to begin with. It says nothing about comic books in the name, but yet it
Well,
involves
the
all
coolest
our
thing
comic
about it, it's made by the guys who did the last Mortal Kombat.
Jason's got a
Pre-order on it?
Looking at his table right now, he's got a space cleared off for it and everything. Injustice label right there. That's where it's going.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about Injustice. I just want to play Superman, Batman. I don't care nothing about Wonder Woman.
Don't care about Wonder Woman.
Don't care about Wonder Woman. Don't care about Green Lantern. They've already messed them up.
That's fine.
There's more than that, though.
There's a lot more than
There's an
that.
arsenal of characters.
There are.
Good ones.
Solomon Grundy. I don't even know what he's ever been in.
You don't know Solomon Grundy?
I don't.
Born on a Monday?
I can't remember the rest.
Me
Or
either.
I'd
It's
be all
just-
about that. Yeah, it's close enough.
We started.
Solomon Grundy was in fact born on a Monday, but we don't know much about him beyond that. He's Batman.
Yeah.
Really?
Lazarus Pits, bro.
I didn't know that.
When you say you read comics, you buy
Joker, Cyborg, Hawk.
I read Jim Lee comic books. He's got the best art. Even though it has nothing to do with the reading part.
I think you mean Todd McFarlane, but that's okay.
Oxy,
I'm pretty sure Jim Lee is the best artist in the world currently.
I'm not interested in this game unless the Flash is in it.
He
Is
is.
it?
He's in it. So
He is, but he gets owned in all of the videos they show.
It's
in
true.
that game.
Every single one.
Even
they've released so far.
Aquaman uses his like ultimate ability where a shark just like eats Flash. So.
Well, you know.
And Flash is like Cabal from Mortal Kombat. He gets
he-
to spin
oh, man.
past you and makes you spin, and then he gets to do a combo on you, and then just run past you and make you spin. You know, the only way you could beat Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat 3 was with Cabal. You probably could beat with other people, but Cabal was just made it.
If you
super
could, you were
easy.
playing on easy and you were basically cheating.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, you had to go with Cabal.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
We'll
even
have it.
though, you know, I said like I think we'll have it at the store.
Yeah, we
because
will.
you know, for some unfortunate reason, our GameCube has decided to stop working on it, so there's not currently any Smash Brothers happening at the store.
I personally, I can't prove this. I blame Blake Arnold. He's afraid of me. I'm calling him out now. Blake, fix a machine, or I'm coming for you.
Well, I was mad because he got beat.
I'm very mad because I got beat.
Yeah, especially on the last podcast, how we hopped you up.
I know,
The
but-
man, take the challenge, and he goes down.
It turns out people realize if they jump, then Sheik isn't nearly as good. But I digress.
All right, so we're about to go into our most beloved segment, week to week, and that is when we get two of these fine young men.
Can it really be the most beloved on the second roundtable?
I think
podcast?
it is the most talked about.
It is, actually.
That's true.
We've gotten requests.
We're pretty cool guys.
You
We
know,
are. I find it.
So this is when you get 60 seconds of these guys, calling each other out, trying to talk about who's better than one another, who's better looking. This is your 60 seconds with Lyle and Kyle.
60 seconds with Lyle and Kyle.
Do we get it right this time? Hey, Lyle.
Hey, Kyle.
We did.
We know our
did.
names.
Success.
It's an advancement for sure.
What are we talking about today?
Well, I am interested in what guild you'll be choosing for the pre-release.
Dun dun dun. Azurius. I'm hooked on this whole like USA kind of thing. So blue-white plus, like mentioned earlier, Lavinia and Deputy of Acquittals just makes Azurius super strong.
Now, I don't have anything to base this on, but this is just pure love of the game. Is it?
Is it?
Absolutely is it. Because I
Goblin Test.
a couple pre-releases ago, yes, Goblin Test Pilot. I want to play that and make you cry. No, I remember in the RTR pre-release when I was the only person to choose Is It, and I topped that. It was amazing. It felt great, and I hope that happens again. I hope.
No, because I'll stop you with my Azurius skill.
You can't, I think you'll file paperwork against me.
All right, I would
Sure, that
love
works.
for you guys to keep it up, but unfortunately, we only give y'all 60 seconds.
And it's up.
It's probably for the best, really, when you get down to it.
I agree.
All right, everyone. So we hope you've enjoyed this third segment of the War Report. Before we go, for those of y'all that will be at our pre-release, you probably already know about this, but for those of y'all out of towners, we are hosting a Star City Games Invitational Qualifier on May 4th. This will be your first opportunity to use those new cards you'll be getting this upcoming weekend. You've got a little bit, how many days are we till the pre-release now?
Do math.
14?
Something like that.
12.
We're like 12 days
Less
away.
than
12
2
days.
Less
That's
than 2
huge.
weeks. So
That's super.
this
cool.
thing's going to be 3 weeks out, and hopefully it's going to shake up the format a little bit. So like I said, it'll be May 4th. That'll be held at the Holiday Inn Suites behind Chili's on College Drive in Dalton, Georgia. You can reach us at the store anytime you have any questions. That number again is 706-259-9704. And we also are always available at www.thebattlegroundsgames.com. Be patient with us on that website. It's still coming along. But yeah, so this has been a good little segment. I'm your host, Michael Gunner.
Adam Tatum.
Lyle Smith.
Jason Mathis.
And Kyle Bonifacius.
And until next time, we'll see you later.